Welcome back to the Big Fish Contracting Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Derringer, along with our other host, Tanya Welson.
Hello.
So how was your day? How's your Monday? How's your weekend?
Well, I've been a little under the weather, so that's challenging to me, but persevering. 6 feet of separation here.
I hope I don't get sick.
I'm on day 6, so hopefully I'm no longer contagious.
Day sick.
You're
on day 6.
Of being sick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm
Just
really
sick.
not a good sick person. I do not like it.
No, but
No.
you keep the train rolling.
I definitely do. I can't not. You can only do so much lying around before you're do something.
You were lying around this weekend?
I tried.
Did you get your steps in?
I absolutely did.
So how many you're on day whatever
Day 258
of steps every day?
every day.
It's pretty amazing.
Almost 3 miles every day. Was Saturday, I was really struggling, and I made Ryan go with me, and I was like, slow down. You're going too fast. Which is very odd for me to say.
I went to a wedding this weekend.
Yeah, so we had a coworker get married.
We did, Kelsey. It was great. We didn't actually, the ceremony was just her family.
Oh,
it was
super
a small,
private. Okay.
intimate ceremony. So we just rolled in for the reception, which, to be honest, isn't a bad way to go to a wedding.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, and it was low key because we didn't know anybody there. And Lindsay and I were the only two from Big Fish that were there, but it was nice to be able to celebrate with her. And Lindsay was in Vegas prior to the wedding, so her and I hadn't seen each other in a minute.
Oh, fun. It was a little date.
So Lindsay and I just kind of hijacked a little corner spot there and talked pretty much the whole time. And then her mom and stepdad came over and sat with us for a minute, so we got to
nice.
know them a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, it was a fun time. Friday, watched some football.
Oh, I watched a lot of football.
Yesterday?
All the college games, all the
Saturday.
NFL. I just watched so much football.
Kansas City lost, so Lindsay was sad.
did.
They're 0-2.
It's a tough loss.
Yeah, in case our
It might
listeners
not be
don't
their
know
year.
this, my wife is a diehard Chiefs fan, and they are 0-2. And,
That's sad.
and not looking like they're going to be
Very good.
Very good. But let's not. Lindsay won't
It's
hear this
early in the
anyways.
season. There's a
It's all
lot
right.
left.
They need some talent.
But the
They'll be
Bears
fine.
are definitely terrible.
They're bad.
And they're not.
And
making the
Minnesota's
playoffs.
bad too.
Turns out they're bad. No, the Lions, I must say, I'm a little surprised. The Lions are pretty good.
The
right now.
Lions are very good.
Yeah.
They destroyed the Bears, but the Packers.
But we
beat
also destroyed the Lions. So
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
there's that.
Packers are 2-0. in case
Packers
you
are
haven't
going
noticed.
to the Super Bowl. I know it's early. They're going. They are going to the Super
That
Bowl.
is a bold prediction from Tanya.
I'll stand by it.
Why do you think they're going to the Super Bowl? What's your hot take?
I just feel it. I feel it.
Travis and
Love
Taylor
is
are getting
in
married.
his element. He's
Well, they
27.
got Micah Parsons.
And did you know that Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and Jordan Love are all 27 when they went to the Super Bowl? Like if he goes
this year. That makes
if we make it this year, that would be 3 quarterbacks that were all 27 going to the Super Bowl.
That's incredible.
So it's obviously going to happen. That's a lot.
I mean,
of
there's a
numerology
lot
in
of
there.
work to do between now and then, but they certainly have the talent to do it.
Yeah.
Their defense is phenomenal.
So
a
good.
Big Fish, anybody who follows us probably may have caught wind or heard that we had a real tragic event happen.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a really bizarre summer, to say the least. I mean, that was about a month ago already.
It's been about a month.
Yeah, it still is very surreal. But yes, our coworker Jordan Lyons did pass away from a bee sting,
Yeah.
of all things.
I know. So we got the call on Saturday night that he had gotten stung by a bee and apparently is allergic to bees, which I've gotten asked a lot of times about, did he know he was allergic? Mm-hmm. My assumption, it's still an assumption, but it's that he did know he was allergic, but he hadn't had a allergic reaction to a bee in quite some time.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he did not have an EpiPen with him. So they called the paramedics from Heartland, and they tried to they were using life resuscitation, bring him back between Heartland and Oconomowoc. They ended up having to put him in a coma, got his vitals stabilized. That was on Saturday night. We went to the hospital to see him on Sunday. It was tough. Me and a couple of our coworkers. It was real. It was just sad, super surreal, and unfortunately, I think it was brain damage from the lack of oxygen to his brain.
Yeah, because his heart stopped, and then and he
passed away on a Tuesday.
It was he did donate his lungs, his heart, liver.
Liver, I heard.
Yeah, and we were able to go to the honor walk, which was really profound. They do that for people donating their organs, and that was really, really special. I had never done anything like that.
I never even knew it existed.
Right.
Until Jordan.
Right. I did not know what to expect or anything. I'm very glad that I was there.
Yeah.
It did feel like a goodbye,
So we recorded a podcast, the last podcast, talking about Jordan Lyons and the tragic accident that happened with the bee sting. And when I went home and I was thinking about the podcast and what we were talking about with Jordan, and there was obviously some great things there, but I just didn't feel like made a tribute to Jordan. Mm-hmm. Like, we talked about his impact up to big fish contracting, and we talked about Jordan, the loss of Jordan from big fish contracting's perspective, and how difficult that was as a team. But I just didn't feel like we talked about Jordan.
Right. Agreed.
We had 2 years with 2+ years with Jordan. And, when he came here, he was kind of in a crisis mode of sorts, just trying to break some secular habits, work. And so he came to Big Fish, and, we offered him a job, not glamorous, just a job. But with that job came stability and community, and he was just always so. I mean, when he came into a room he was just a big personality.
Yeah, I think the first time I met him, he rolled up in my driveway and came out and gave me a hug, and I was like, well, hello, nice to meet you, Jordan.
Hey, boss! I mean, he just big, grovelly voice, wearing Crocs all the time and stuff.
Definitely rolled with the Crocs.
Just like rough around the edges.
But such a pure, his heart was just so pure, and he really wanted to do good and be good.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. And, and he loved Jordan.
Yep. And his kids, he would always tell me stories about the kids and what they're up to, or, they kept me up last night, or, oh gosh, I got to go get them from school now, and he wanted to be there for them, which shows his character as a dad.
Yeah. And he would just show up at work and he would just do anything. He worked over the winter when it's slow. I have a farm, and we have horses and sheep and goats, and he needed hours, and I'm like, yeah, you come and work on the farm. And so he would be on the farm pretty much every day over the winter, just taking care of the horses and bringing his kids to see the horses. And he fell in love with the horses. And it was really sweet to just see, that's just a testimony to the horses and the power. There's so much power in just being around horses. They're very healing animals. But I would just see some change happen in him, just from a peace standpoint. So he came. This was a year ago, or maybe a little more, And he was going to put in his 2 weeks.
Yes. Oh my goodness. He was. And we both said, Jordan, no.
He put in his, he was put in his 2 weeks. He was going to move to Florida.
Yeah.
And,
he said,
you know,
I think he asked, or I don't even know like if he was seeking permission or telling us, but we both were like, no.
Yeah. So he tried to quit and we wouldn't let him.
No.
And, you know, we're kind of joking, but kind of not. You know?
Right. Obviously, we would have literally
we didn't have a choice. He literally could have left.
He could have.
But we were just like, no, you're not doing this.
I think because we were so invested in who he was and saw so much positive change and growth in him, it was like, Jordan, you're like doing so well and you're so prideful and taking so much ownership of his job here, and his family life was really solid, and you know, he's a pleasure to be around, that it was like, why would you leave, you know?
And he was trying to, like, anybody who has kids, you know, life is tough, like making money and expensive, and you know, I think the reasons why he would do like these chase something is that it was maybe an easier way, I think, out to, in his mind, than just grinding through the normalness of every day. And we would talk, and I would tell him about just start stacking good decisions on top of one another. And then right away, it doesn't look like you're getting anywhere in life. But then if you look back over, and that's what he did, like even a year, you can see real progress. But it just, it's not glorified. It's a grind, you know, and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, but you are.
Yeah, he was.
And that's what it was like with Jordan. And so he stayed, and he just kept at it. He just kept working. And 2 years into it, you know, but when the accident happened, there was so much change that had taken place in Jordan's life in the 2 years that we worked with him. He was different.
He was a changed man.
He was.
Sure.
He was more content, more.
Yeah.
He had more peace and more hope. And though his life circumstances didn't automatically like change, and now like he's completely out of debt and blah blah blah, but he was making progress, real progress. Yeah,
it was a fascinating to watch the journey of his growth really develop.
Yes, and so, you know, when I think of him, like I'm really proud to have been a part of that with him and watch him change and leave in this world on a real high note. Yeah. As a person, and I just wanted to share that. Yeah. About Jordan.
He's a
just him. For sure. Yeah.
No, we're crying.
So we love you, Jordan, and Jordan.
And Jordan.
Yeah. And we certainly miss you, and we still, you know, a day doesn't go by in our work life where we don't think about him in some way, shape, or form. And it was just a real privilege to get to know him for 2 years.
Yeah, it is still very surreal, I think, because we haven't slowed down from a big fish contracting side of the world, right? So we're still, you know, out there serving our customers. And I mean, the day that it happened, well, it was 9:00 at night on that Saturday when we learned that he had got stung and went to the hospital. And then Sunday morning was the crazy flooding. So it was when we had all that rain.
That was
Sunday morning. And so that was, I think, the strangest weekend I've had, and I don't even remember how long, because we've had, you know, my husband's a plumber, so he was getting a lot of phone calls. Then we were getting work calls for roof leaks and things like that. And, you know, obviously those things are also traumatic. And anytime water is coming into somebody's house, it can be very, very disturbing and anxious, and you're freaking out, you know. And then in the same exact moment, you know, I'm over here listening to his wife, Jordan, you know, text me about like he's probably not going to make it. And so trying to like navigate those two areas was extremely difficult because of course I'm going to be there for the homeowners, and then oh my gosh, one of our own is fighting for his life. And so that was a very, very unexpected, trying time. And I mean, we've gotten through it, and we're still thinking about the family all the time. And
yeah, it was it obviously, like, life goes on, and I mean, homeowners, our customer base, obviously they're not going to know
right
what happened or what is happening. Mm-hmm. And it's inappropriate to tell them.
Totally.
Yes. It's appropriate in some ways, mm-hmm. in some contexts, but like where and when, like that, yeah. You tell us, it's like where and when do you, because we're, as a company, we're grieving. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was, I think, only one of the phone calls I had where it just kind of came out, and, here I was crying with a homeowner. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, because I didn't want to use it as an excuse for anything. I mean, or,
even though it is an excuse, a good one. And most homeowners, our customers, but most of them, would understand.
Absolutely. Of course, no one would be like, oh my
most
God.
Of our homeowners are really kind human beings. Yeah. There's a handful that wouldn't care. But,
there had been a couple. I feel so bad because there were a couple. Because Jordan was one of our main expediters, so he was responsible for taking trailers to and from job sites, taking the shingles to the recycling center, picking up leftover materials, taking screens in, all of those duties. And there were a few that fell through the cracks that, Jordan, it was on his plate to go pick up those screens from Ace, or, oh yeah, Susie, I'll get your materials, and all of a sudden it's a few weeks later and these poor homeowners are like, oh, I still have a pile of shingles here, and it was this whole, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, not intentional, and then you kind of had to describe what happened, and obviously a lot of compassion was given back, and it was not intentional.
Yeah. But it's...
And if you're out there with something still left, please let us know.
Yeah. But yeah, it was... it's just interesting as you go through life, and it's just when something like that happens and it has tragedy, and I'm sure it has, nobody's immune to it. Most people I know who at least are around our age have dealt with it in some way, some significant loss, some significant pain. And yet life continues to go on, mm-hmm. And it's just interesting how people process, that, and mm-hmm. It makes me very, very grateful for even the problem days, and I probably should listen to myself right now, right?
Got our stressful mornings.
Mondays can be a little stressful, but mm-hmm. like to be grateful to be able to be in it.
Yeah, like stressed is blessed, like kind of that whole mindset that, because I think you and I are a lot alike, where there's the perfectionism and the, like, I want to get it all done. I don't want anything hanging out there. And so when it becomes overwhelming and kind of out of our hands or out of control, so to speak, like all within relative, I think it is important to go back to, okay, it's going to be fine. It absolutely is going to be fine. It always works out, because
it does.
Life is so freaking short and fast.
Yeah. But you want to be perfect.
Right. At the end of the day, we're striving for
to be really good and to continue to serve. And then, but what I think for us at Big Fish Contracting, it has kind of galvanized us even more than we already were.
100%.
We have a really close team of people here that we live and work with. We do life together, and to see all of the people at Big Fish Contracting who not only came to his Heroes Walk. We lined the hallway, with siding guys and roofing guys just coming right from work to honor Jordan, and then we're all together and at the funeral. It just, I think it made us even more tight as a unit. But everybody still misses him. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's been really great to see everybody lean on each other and be really open. Like, we've had so many open conversations about, like, how are we feeling? How are you doing today? What do you need today? And that's just everyone amongst each other. I think we've really all leaned a lot on one another, which is great.
Yeah. And we were able to use our network to put together a GoFundMe and sent it out to our network. And, we've seen GoFundMe. I've seen GoFundMe, right? And people have thoughts on GoFundMe. I'm sure I had never done one or but
have set it up.
We felt like we had to do something for his wife. He has 4 kids and a wife, and they're 14 years old and younger, and so we set a goal for 18,000. Just Amber did, and we didn't. You never know what it's gonna. And I think we ended up at $25,000, which is a lot of money. Certainly going to be very, very helpful. Anybody listening, it's still out there. If you go to our website or our Facebook page or Instagram page, you're going to find, and you just scroll a little bit, you'll find that for his wife and kids. But we far exceeded our goal, and that came from our community.
Customers.
And really customers, contractors, vendors, just people who know us, and was really encouraged to be a part of that, to be able to...
It doesn't even feel like enough,
It's not,
you can't...
But it's something...
Fathom that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a tough month.
A little bit.
Yeah, but we're good. We're just we're crying right now because we're sad just about Jordan.
Right.
And we're still looking to take care of. His wife's name was Jordan too.
Yes, it's a little confusing, but it was Jordan.
As a team and a family, we're still trying to be really involved in her life and help her out. And I saw this Facebook post from her, Jordan, the other day about something around a house, like a plumber. So I need a plumber, or something was wrong with her garbage disposal or something. And I'm like, I texted her right away. I'm like, you do know that we're a construction company, right, Jordan?
Yeah, we can send
and
someone
I'm like, please don't post on Facebook about your construction needs. Just call me and we'll make sure. So I had Nick on it. I said, we'll get Scott over there from Earth Spammer. Like, whatever you need, just let us know. And she said she didn't want to be a bother. I'm like, you're not a bother.
Not at all.
Yeah. So, it's just been a rough month, good month, a lot of growth, a lot of depth to the conversations. Perspective.
Well, we've had babies too.
We've had babies.
We've had some birds.
The
wedding. Amongst, and that I think is like a good reminder of life. Like, there's constantly that light and darkness, and you just have to continue to it's all part of God's plan,
Yeah.
And it's both of the Zacks, or not both of the Zacks, but Zachary and then Jay
both
welcome
had
babies.
Yeah, babies. Yeah, we'll get those babies on the podcast.
Yep.
It's a baby. It's a baby. And then so in the scriptures, Paul talks about how we're constantly rejoicing and constantly sorrowful. I've always gravitated towards that verse, because when we do live in that, we live right on the kind of the razor's edge there of being sorrowful and grieving and deep joy at the same time. And that's, I think, when you live a healthy life, you live right in that, and you can. So you can cry at the same, and then 2 seconds later be laughing and be grateful and joyful for that, and then go back. You can, if your eyes are open to humanity, you're going to have that experience. And this month was just kind of like a actual
eyes are wide open. I will say that
how that actually looks in life. And then it creates, just health. The relationships we have, they're meaningful, they're deep, they're intentional. The conversations that we have, I'm not talking about just you and I, even though you and I do, but people we're around, even with our customers, it's all appropriate. Like, going back to that thought of what's appropriate, what's not. We understand there's an appropriateness to what we would share with a customer, but the human interaction behind it is still valuable.
Absolutely.
And it's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Right? Never once has anybody thought about what he had, that kind of stuff. It was about the relationships that he had. And he did have a lot of good ones.
Yeah, he was a cool kid.
Yeah, he was.
So young.
Yeah, so that's thanks for hanging with us on that one.
Yeah, and thanks for all of the support you guys have shown over the last month. We truly appreciate it, and we wouldn't be here without you, so thank you.
Yeah, just let us know how we can continue to serve you, and remember to be kind, be humble, and love one another.
Absolutely.
Have a great day.
Bye.